one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
Cashing in, say, the way Liv did, well, that's like winning the lottery, isn't it? And I don't need to win the lottery because I work my ass off every week for a paycheck.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know. They know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa. Boss forever like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop a million songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Don't let the minutia of people distract us. This is the last year in the NAL. Next year we going to the AFL. A lot of owners around here got this type of money to even be in this league, so let's get that clear. A lot of naysayers around here, I've been seeing a lot of players chip chat about me. You think I care what the NAL players say about me?
Welcome to Kicking It with Saint. Yo, how are we doing today? How are we doing today, bro? I got a good show for you. Listen. I appreciate you for joining me on the show. Yo, if you clicked on the video, bro, don't click off yet, man. Let me get into a topic. You know what I'm saying? Decide if you like the topic yet. You know what I'm saying? Decide if you like what I'm talking about. But, you know, I already got ahead of myself. How's everybody doing out there today, yo? I'm interested. Some big news broke yesterday after I got done recording one show. Did not have the time to then record the second show. Because news broke that Justin Herbert has been paid $265 million, I believe it was. And I'm happy for Justin Herbert. He deserved it. Good quarterback. The deserve part is hard for me to say because it's like, what does deserve mean? In the context of which I feel like it means like he worked hard. He got to this point off of hard work and whatnot. So he deserved it. If you want to talk about deserve it in the, you know, sense of what has he done since he been in the league, you know, that's up for debate. And that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. Because, you know, I'm interested in this. I'm very interested in this. Because, you know, I knew somebody was going to get this type of contract. I knew a quarterback was going to get it. I thought Lamar would get that contract. Unfortunately, he got something close to it, but he didn't get that contract. Now, Justin Herbert gets the contract. Highest paid player all time. Highest paid quarterback all time. Now, this is what's interesting to me. I heard so many people talk about how Lamar didn't deserve the contract he was asking for. He haven't earned the contract he asking for. he need to be grateful for the contract that they give him, and blase. And I would imagine, and I know it's people out there that's ignorant, that's only saying this because they just don't like Lamar and whatnot. But I would imagine it's a good portion of people out there who try to look at what Lamar Jackson done in the NFL. They don't look at it with context or anything like that. They just look at what he haven't done and say he don't deserve the type of money that he asking for. Now, I want to ask you, does Justin Herbert? Because unlike Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert came into a great situation. Now, I know some people are going to say, oh, well, you know, he had to play behind Tyrod Taylor. Regardless, much like Lamar Jackson, he ended up starting by the end of that season. Lamar Jackson wasn't a starter in his rookie season. Lamar Jackson wasn't even projected to play in his rookie season. Justin Herbert done had talent since he done stepped on the football field. Talent all around him. So tell me why he haven't accomplished the things that y'all hold against Lamar for not accomplishing. Because he done had far better talent on his team. He got Pro Bowl receiver over there, Pro Bowl running back over there, great offensive lineman over there, Pro Bowl defenders over there, even though for some ungodly reason this defense can't seem to put it all together. They did in that playoff game against the Jags. And the offense couldn't even get a field goal to keep preserve the lead in that game. So I'm just interested for those people who was out there talking about Lamar didn't deserve his contract. He didn't deserve what he asking for. What's up with Justin Herbert? Now, while you ponder on that, I want to bring in a whole different type of conversation. Because the Ravens didn't want to pay Lamar. They took forever to pay Lamar, right? But look at how easy it was for the Chargers to pay Justin Herbert. Now, some people try to say, well, you know, they pay Mahomes fast. Mahomes done had to overachieve in order to get the contract he done got. He had to be the best in order to get that contract. That's the thing that I don't understand how people don't understand this. How white dudes can walk around and act like this ain't a thing. Pat Mahomes, the reason, and it's still people who criticize Pat Mahomes, but the reason the majority can no longer criticize Pat Mahomes is because he's overachieved compared to what people initially thought he could be. He done set himself apart from the quarterbacks that y'all like. Because y'all still try to say Joe Burrow was better than him last year. I even have seen people have a conversation, can Joe Burrow top him this year? Y'all really want that white man to be the best. Because for so long, it was Peyton Manning, it was Tom Brady, it was Brett Favre, it was Aaron Rodgers, it was Drew Brees. You didn't enjoy it when Cam Newton had his time, when Lamar Jackson was unanimous MVP, when Pat Mahomes was doing the shit he was doing. Jalen Hurts did what he did last year. You didn't enjoy that. I hear way more criticism coming when it comes to those guys than to do when those other guys took it. Oh, but they do it a certain type of way. But see, Pat Mahomes done achieved at the level of which you can no longer criticize anything he does. He is stamped. Now, you still gonna have the people out there, of course, that, well, can Joe Burrow be this and that? But that's a conversation for another day. So before you try to use well, we don't criticize Pat Mahomes, that's because you can't criticize Pat Mahomes. All right? Usually when you have a debate, you don't debate things that's actually factual, things that cannot be debated. It's things that ain't completely based in fact that's up for debate. You can't debate shit with Pat Mahomes. But back to the main thing. It was so easy for the Chargers to pay Justin Herbert. So hard for Lamar Jackson to get a contract. Oh, but he was hurt. And even with him being hurt, which is very interesting to me that y'all use that, because I've heard nothing about Deshaun Watson's injuries. I've heard nothing about Aaron Rodgers' injuries through the years. I've heard nothing about Joe Burrow going out. Joe Burrow done missed just as much time as Lamar Jackson. I hear nothing about that. The difference between those two careers at the moment is one done been to a Super Bowl. The difference, however, is one also done had hella talent. Look at that S-tier talent that Joe Burrow got at his disposal. You believe Lamar Jackson would not have made, and this is what really irritates me about y'all. If you really look at Lamar Jackson, you see what this man done without talent around him. You think he would be less great with talent around him. Like I see people get on TV and say, well, you know, the question is, can Lamar Jackson play from a pro-style offense? What? That's not the question. Lamar Jackson has been ultra productive since he done touched down in the NFL. The problem with Lamar Jackson, and I say it all the time, Lamar ain't perfect. It's no perfect quarterback in the NFL. But the fact that you can ignore the production that this man done had and continuously try to put all the shortcomings of the Ravens on him is ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. In the beginning of the season last year when Lamar Jackson torching defenses, but our defense is also getting torched. But now all of a sudden the conversation done morphed into Lamar done had a great defense. What? It's very interesting to me, the conversation that surrounds some quarterbacks, but don't surround other quarterbacks. Justin Herbert just got paid. I don't hear an outrage of people saying, oh man, he don't deserve the contract. Because he wanted the White Knights. You're not going to say that about him. You're not going to say that about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow going to be able to live off of the fact he got to a Super Bowl for probably the next 5 years knowing y'all. Okay? I just know how this thing go. Lamar Jackson won a unanimous MVP and the next season people said, bro, that was a year ago. Get over it. That's in the past. Joe Burrow got to a Super Bowl. Didn't win the Super Bowl. Him and his team got to a Super Bowl 2 years ago. And that's used as like, they use that as if he won the Super Bowl that year. Ignore the fact that he had more talent on his offense than the Rams, who lost OBJ in that game. But, you know, the media like to treat Joe as if he won that Super Bowl. I hear it all the time. You see any analyst get on TV. What does Lamar Jackson got to do this? He got to do that. Bro, for all that Joe Burrow done, for all that Josh out, because y'all turning on my guy Josh now, which is crazy. What have they accomplished that Lamar Jackson haven't accomplished of value? Because the only dude that's done separated himself out of these young quarterbacks is Pat Mahomes. Because he got 3 trips to the Super Bowl. And he don't just have trips to the Super Bowl. He actually got hardware from 2 of those trips. Unlike Joe Burrow, who y'all like to treat as if he won that Super Bowl. Because the bar for a white quarterback is so low once you prove you can throw the ball. Which is exactly why Justin Herbert got paid. I got no problem with Justin Herbert getting paid. I knew Justin Herbert would get paid. Because Justin Herbert showed that he was a long-haired white guy with blue eyes who can throw the football. It don't matter that he got talent littered throughout the offense. It don't matter that the running back can't get paid, who done been a stud since Justin Herbert done been there. They were talking about trading Keenan Allen last year, the best receiver on the team. So, you know, I'm not shocked that Justin Herbert got paid. I knew it was going to happen, and I knew he wouldn't struggle to get his contract. It didn't matter if up to this point the biggest accomplishment in his career is losing in the playoffs. The same thing that y'all tried to hold Lamar Jackson responsible for. It's a team sport when it's a white quarterback. But when Lamar Jackson loses in the playoffs, oh, Lamar Jackson. It's all Lamar. It don't matter the talent that he don't got. It don't matter who else showed up, didn't show up. It's all on Lamar. And then I notice how we look towards potential. You know, we think Justin Herbert going to be great in the future. That's why this is a great contract. Lamar Jackson is on the decline. Shouldn't have gave him that contract. What? And another thing that's so interesting to me, you know, I see so many white analysts love to bring up the fact, you know, quarterbacks make the players better around them. Who has Justin Herbert had to make better around him? As a matter of fact, when his studs got hurt last year, all I kept hearing y'all yell was, he don't got help. Lamar Jackson has elevated the talent around him at every level. And I never hear he don't have help. You started hearing it a little bit finally when the black analysts started to yell it to the clouds. And Max Kellerman, I can't leave Max out. But what's up with these excuses y'all give Justin Herbert at every turn? Because I'm just trying to understand for the black man, when he done overachieved, but just haven't won a Super Bowl, is he don't deserve his bread. But the white quarterback who at this point, who done underachieved, he get paid and I don't hear a word. Now, I don't want people to think that I'm taking shots at Justin Herbert. If Justin Herbert happened to listen to this, Justin Herbert deserved the bread. This message is not about Justin Herbert, me digging into Justin Herbert. This is about the media and the portrayal of quarterbacks and how we treat quarterbacks and who you get to dictate who deserve a contract based on what they have and have not done. And the hypocrisy once a Justin Herbert type of quarterback get paid. And it's crickets. Oh, we know he gonna be great. You can project for a white quarterback. You can ignore all the shortcomings of a white quarterback. But for Lamar Jackson, oh, well, you know, he can't win in the playoffs and, you know, he not good at playing from behind. And, you know, you just create these multitude of goalpost movers. You just bring in these guys who just pick up the goalpost and continue to move. And then they're so strong. They can move it so many times within a couple of seconds. It's crazy. Technology, man. It's crazy. But it's no shot at Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, a damn good quarterback. But it'd be foolish to not look at Justin Herbert at this point and say he's underachieved. Now, you're going to blame the defense. You're going to blame the receivers. You're going to blame the running back. You're going to blame the coach. You're going to blame the owner. You're going to blame the GM. You're going to blame everybody but Justin Herbert. And then you got those jackasses out there who are over the top like a Emmanuel Acho, who act as if Justin Herbert. And, you know, it's a shame that Emmanuel Acho is so terrible at his job that when he got the opportunity to actually make a point, to actually say something of value when it comes to how the media portray Justin Herbert compared to how they portray a Lamar Jackson, but he can't because he dropped the ball every time because he's terrible at his job. Because the same guy who could use that and be genuine in the criticism is only doing it because he got some type of weird ass vendetta against Justin Herbert. And he trashed Lamar Jackson every chance he gets. This is a dude who defends Baker midfield, bro. But I'm not here to do that. All right. I know Justin Herbert is a great quarterback. And because of how the media treat Lamar Jackson, I'm not going to shit on Justin Herbert. However, like I said before, it'd be foolish to not recognize this goalpost moving. Justin Herbert, as good as he done been, all the individual accolades he done accomplished, haven't led to really much of anything. His win-loss record is just barely over 500 by like a game or two. But you scoff at everything Lamar Jackson has done. You complain about, oh, well, Jalen Hurts only good because of the talent around him. But when Joe Burrow get paid, whether it be next year, let's say Joe Burrow get paid next year, right? And let's say the Cincinnati Bengals season this year ends in the playoffs. They don't get to a Super Bowl. They lose in the playoffs at some point in time. Let's say that's how the season ends. And Joe Burrow get a $300-something million contract. The first thing people are going to say is he deserved that contract. This is a dude who done took a team to a Super Bowl. This is a guy who only getting better. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody going to say, I mean, it's a good contract, but he have gotten to the Super Bowl, haven't been able to get back. It was a shit ton of talent on that team. The fact that he done had the best team, offensive talent on his team throughout his duration in Cincinnati up to this point and haven't delivered a Super Bowl win to this point is a problem because of the standard we hold these quarterbacks to, especially the standard that we supposed to hold these quarterbacks to when they got the talent around them. However, it seems as though we hold quarterbacks to a higher standard when we don't like them. And the quarterbacks that we like, we continue to move the goalpost in a positive way for them, make excuses for them. But the reality is the time is ticking on Joe Burrow winning the Super Bowl with the talent that he got at his disposal. Because it only get harder when you start to lose that talent, when teams start to poach that talent. And y'all love to say Joe Burrow is better than this guy. He better than that. I saw Pat Mahomes win a Super Bowl without crazy talent around him, with just one stud around him that wasn't even a receiver. I've seen Lamar Jackson compete every year and be one of the top players in the league and have his team in position every year with Rarely any talent around him. Joe Burrow. What do you think he's going to do when that talent? Now, he's going to have Jamar Chase for a minute. But Jamar Chase won't always have two other studs playing opposite him, taking all of the distraction and all of the coverage away from him. Something to think about. But the point being, when it's time for him to get paid, and when he gets paid, if he is not a Super Bowl winner at that point, y'all not going to say, well, he got to a Super Bowl a couple years ago. It's time for him to update that resume. Y'all going to still be using that to say he deserved a contract. But I couldn't imagine if it was Lamar, Cam Newton. People still, I saw a video the other day of a white dude disrespecting Cam. It's so crazy that these white dudes come to these camps. It's so crazy to me that any of these dudes come to these camps to be disrespectful. But it's specifically crazy to me that a white dude would have this type of confidence to go to in the state that we in, to go to a dude's camp, a black quarterback, and shit talk him for never winning a Super Bowl. You just don't see that with Joe Burrow. Show me the video of people taunting Joe Burrow for not winning a Super Bowl. And he had far more talent at his disposal than Cam Newton had in that Super Bowl he lost. So, I mean, I just don't get it. You keep telling me that why you bringing up race. Well, show me why race is not playing a huge part in a lot of the things that's happening right now. And second of all, do you think somebody come up to Tom Brady and keep bringing up his L's in the Super Bowl? That might have been a terrible example. Tom Brady on a different type of level at this point where he got national haters. But it's ridiculous. The standard, and I always talk about it, bro. This standard that y'all have for an African American athlete compared to the standard that you give to a white athlete, especially a white athlete of the caliber of a Justin Herbert, a guy who y'all see is the next big thing. He's going to be great. You keep telling me what he's going to be, yet he haven't accomplished anything that you're telling me. Not even on the smallest level. The smallest bars that he need to accomplish, he haven't accomplished. Lamar Jackson make it to the playoffs every year. He done been a starter and healthy. That's the baseline. But not for Justin Herbert. And like I said, Justin Herbert deserves his contract. I'm not talking to Justin Herbert. This ain't about Justin Herbert deserving his money. I tell you all the time, athletes deserve what they negotiate. I'm not here to talk about an athlete deserving or not deserving money. It's got to be a very rare case where I get on here and talk about an athlete don't deserve the money they get. If I think an athlete got paid way more than what they probably could have made on a market because like the team, well, I do what I do with Justin, what I did with Jaylen Brown. That's on Boston, not on Jaylen Brown. Get your money. Somebody put $300 million in front of you. You don't turn that down. I could care less if I'm the 28th best player in the NBA. I'm signing that. You think about the repercussions later. They can think about that. That's not your job. That's why they hire GMs. But in this case, great move by the Chargers. Sure. But at what point in time now, because obviously, like I said, the bar is so low, but now my expectations for Justin Herbert, now he being paid. Now at what point in time, because this is important to me, what point in time do he have real expectations now? Because he take up a big part of your salary cap now. At what point in time, because you know the talent that he got now is only getting older. They won't be around for longer. You can't expect that the Chargers going to just be able to replenish that talent quick because they won't be drafting in the top of the draft most years to get a surefire receiver. I mean, maybe they land one through a trade or through free agency, but that's still up for debate. Most of their talent, they usually get through the draft. So at what point in time is it time to expect more out of Justin Herbert now that he done been paid? Because he won't have the talent around him eventually. And he haven't won at the highest level with the talent that he done had around him. But Lamar didn't deserve his contract. It's very interesting little conversation. But shout out to Justin Herbert. He definitely deserved a contract. Generational wealth. I'm happy for it. Anytime somebody can ensure they bloodline and they family don't have to struggle no more and won't have to struggle in the future, that's dope, bro. You should be rooting for people to get to that, bro. I struggle. So I don't want somebody I couldn't imagine having to have other people having to live the life I have to live right now. I don't want that. when you work hard and you get to the point that some people get to where they can make big money, I'm happy. Get your money. This ain't got nothing to do with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert went on the field, took the hits, made the throws, threw the touchdowns, and did everything he could to earn that contract. He absolutely deserved that contract. I'm not even talking to the Chargers about giving him the contract, because I agree with giving him the contract. But I agree with Lamar getting what he asked for. The real only quarterback who I would have argued contract-wise was Jalen Hurts. And that's only because it was a one-year thing in which he was great. However, I probably still pay him too, because when he had no talent, he got that team to a playoff appearance. So for me, I don't have a problem with the Chargers for signing him. This conversation didn't have to do with the Chargers signing him and didn't have to do with Justin Herbert getting paid what he got paid. This had to do with all the hypocrites and the racists in the media and how we portray black quarterbacks and white quarterbacks and the bar that you set for white and black quarterbacks and this and that. That's what this conversation was. If you stayed around long enough, you probably knew that already because you just listened to the show. But Justin Herbert definitely deserved a contract. And like I said, when we started to get into the football conversation of this, expectations now with Justin Herbert, because you got to win, my guy. Keenan Allen getting older. Mike Williams can't seem to stay healthy. Austin Eckler ain't happy with his bread situation. I like Rashawn Slater. But this ain't an offensive line that's on a year-to-year basis that you know for a fact they're going to be a top-tier line. Your defense, for some reason, got a lot of great pieces, but they off and on. So you can't. So it's like, what's up? It's game time. You have to now be. See, it's funny that they say this about quarterbacks, but they actually don't hold them to this real standard where they got to raise everybody else above them. Justin Herbert and Burrow haven't had to raise everybody's talent around them. They've been playing with talent. They just had to be in there and be good themselves. Lamar Jackson and actually had to raise the level of talent around him because he ain't had the talent. Pat Mahomes had to raise the level of talent around him last year. Josh Allen in his first couple years had to raise the level of competition around you. And you find that it's very hard to do that without top tier talent around you. So really, Herbert and Burrow at an advantage. They get to play with this talent to start off, and maybe they lose the talent down the line. It's a bigger possibility that the Chargers will be without top tier receiver talent before the Bengals, because the Bengals got 3 options that are all 3 more reliable, in my opinion, at this point than the 2 for the Chargers. Even though I like the Chargers 2 stud type receivers, they just not as reliable as those 3 over there in Cincinnati. However, the clock is ticking. Now, it's for the unbiased media who expect expectations, who ain't, infatuated with the old white quarterback can throw the ball down the field. For the people who ain't obsessed with that, for the people who actually care about the results now, excluding Emmanuel Acho ignorant ass, the clock ticking now. It can no longer be just keep missing the playoffs. Oh, it's somebody else's fault. Now people are going to start holding Justin Herbert accountable. So it's going to be very interesting. But congratulations to Justin Herbert, bro. Get your money, young man. With that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Like, subscribe, share. I fuck with y'all. Saint out.
Hey, right out. Got my niggas in the bag blowing white out. We gon' pump this shit real deep into the night out. Keep it 199, just ain't my style. Sing the time, staring out the window of the night route. They never ever understood for the most part. Hey, wonder how them niggas treated Mozart. Hey, did they try to put him on the Zoloft? Oh nah, I was penalized for being too alive. 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 I was